Strawberry syrup is one of those great basic fruit syrups that tastes so good on pancakes, on waffles. I've even used it on ice cream or for snow cones for my kids. I mean, you have so many different options, and it's got this fabulous flavor to it. It is a little bit thinner than the store-bought varieties of a strawberry syrup though, so just so that you're aware. I begin by de-stemming 4 pounds worth of strawberries. I really like this destemmer because I can just go in the center. It takes out just a little bit. Sometimes it leaves the leaves, but then I just remove those. And you can see how it just has a really small hole. It doesn't waste nearly as much of the strawberry as the other kind do. I'll add 1.5 cups of water to my strawberries. And then I'll place this on the stove and simmer it until those strawberries are very soft. As it's cooking, I continue to kind of mush up the strawberries just to encourage them to lose their juices. Now I'll place 2.5 cups of sugar and 1.5 cups of water into a large pot, and I'll place this on the stove and bring it to 230 degrees. Now that my sugar water is up to 230, I need to pull out my strainer. This is my honey strainer. This is the bottom portion of it, so it's a little bit more fine. If you wanted to, you could do a jelly bag or about 5 layers of cheesecloth, and that would work too. I really like doing it in this one though because it fits so well on top of my pans, and I can work a little bit faster with it. I place my softened berries into my honey strainer, and then I actually like to use a spatula to rub it back and forth along the strainer just so I get that liquid out a little bit faster. This usually takes about 5 minutes or so. I feel like in the jelly bag, it just takes longer. And as I go back and forth, it just kind of works that liquid down to the edge and makes it easier for it to get through. One of the things that always drove me crazy about making syrups is the fact that there was so much waste. So I actually don't throw this away. I could throw it to my chickens. I mean, like technically that wouldn't be wasting it, but I usually put it in the refrigerator and I'll use it over the next couple days in my smoothie, or I'll make strawberry bread, or I could even take it and put it on the dehydrator and then grind that up and turn it into strawberry powder. So, I mean, there's options. And then what I do is I lift up my strainer and I just make sure that I scrape off the very bottom of it because there's usually some stuff on there as well. And then I'll add 3.5 cups of light corn syrup to it. Then I'll place this on the stove and bring it to a boil. Lastly, I'll add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and mix it in well. I'll fill up my 1/2 pint jars to 1/4 of an inch of headspace, which is the space from the top of the food to the top of the jar. It really does smell good. It makes the entire house smell like strawberries. Nothing wrong with that. My kids were coming into the kitchen like, what's that? It smells good. I use a clean, damp cloth to wipe off the rim of the jars so that if any syrup got on the edge, that it won't interfere with the seal. I'll place my lids and rings on until they're fingertip tight. I'm using Superb canning lids today, which are actually my favorite canning lids because they do such a good job of adhering to my jars. They're supposed to seal for up to 36 months as opposed to the 18 months that my old lids used to. They've been a really good company to work with, and so that's why I recommend them. I have a link as well as a 20% off discount code in the description below. I'll place these in my boiling water bath, submerged by 1 to 2 inches of water, and process them for 10 minutes if I'm at sea level. I'm at 1,200 feet, so I'll process them for 15, but I won't start my timer until after it begins to boil. Now that my timer's gone off, I'll remove the lid, turn off the heat, and let it cool for 5 minutes. I remove the jars and place them on a heat-resistant surface about 1 to 2 inches apart so that they can cool quickly. I'll leave them there for 24 hours so that they can get a good seal. I know that they have a good seal if the center of the lid has depressed down. If it has, I remove the ring, wash off the outside with hot soapy water, and store them in a cool, dry, dark location like my pantry and use them in the next 1 to 3 years. If I have any of them that didn't seal, I would place them in the refrigerator and use them right away. Now for the taste tester, I should have made waffles for this. I do sometimes. Maybe I will for the pictures, just so I can eat some. And it's lovely, that strawberry flavor. It's not a bad thickness. It is a little bit thinner than your store-bought ones, but for an at-home fruit syrup, not bad at all.